Crystal Faulkner with the CPA and business advisory firm of Cooney, Faulkner & Stevens. We're here today with Tom Callanan. Tom's the founder of Charitable Word Scholars. And Tom, you now focus all of your energy on your nonprofit. Prior to this, though, you were in the newspaper business, an editor of the Enquirer, and you've been in that business for over 30 years. How do you switch gears and all of a sudden now be so passionate about your new nonprofit, Charitable Word Scholars?
Well, it's a process. I mean, I retired, and I've got a place in Arizona. I went out and played golf a couple times and kind of woke up and thought, well, I really don't like golf. And I spent all this time building relationships in that in Cincinnati, and let's go back and do something.
Well, let's talk about it. What is Charitable Word Scholars?
Well, what it is I'm involved in the kind of humanitarian nonprofit work right now. That and I like to write, obviously, you know, from my career, and I like working with kids, graduates from college, interns, things like that. So I'm combining that, and what I'm doing is I'm matching students interested in this field with nonprofits in need of help.
And you currently have a few of those students, I guess, involved with nonprofits right now. Maybe you can share a couple of those stories.
Well, I've got, there's 6 Charitable Word Scholars assigned right now. My favorite one just got assigned yesterday, and her name is Tia Garcia from the University of Cincinnati. She's working with a small nonprofit called Melodic Connections. What they do is they bring music therapy to special needs kids. She's a multimedia editor at the News Record, the college newspaper, so she will be able to tell the story of this nonprofit in so many wonderful ways.
So this is such a win-win. So basically you're allowing students to get experience, work for nonprofits, and you're allowing the nonprofits to really take advantage of that expertise. And again, this is a nonprofit. If people are interested to learn more how they can apply, students watching today, perhaps who may want to get involved, what is your contact information? Well,
it's me. I mean, the whole business is me, T. Callanan at charitablewords.com. The website is charitablewords.com.
Well, Tom, thank you so much for everything you're doing, and we are going to continue our conversation with Tom Callanan on WCPO.com/Businesswise. So, Tom, I really love this idea. I really appreciate the fact that you are so passionate about helping people and nonprofits that you're using your own private foundation. You have you and your wife Maureen put money into a foundation, and you're using these dollars to fund these students to help nonprofits. So again, what is your dream? I mean, if you could fast forward, say 5 years, what is it that you would hope to accomplish?
Well, I think that when you get into this, and you've got your own nonprofit, Accounting for Kids, and I can see from your enthusiasm, once you get started on it, it is addictive. It is like you see the kids so happy and benefiting, and the volunteers getting in. You want to do more and more and more. Well, you know, I think we're probably in kind of the same position that you have so much available. What I'd like to do is do what I can, but also open this up to a situation where I would be able to get grants and foundations to help build it, to exponentially make it available to more nonprofits, more kids. And my goal is to grow it. I'm hoping to have maybe a dozen Charitable Word Scholars by the end of the year. I'd like to have hundreds.
You know, Tom, what's really fascinating to me is what you're doing, as I mentioned earlier, is not only helping the nonprofit, but it's also helping the student learn. But I think it even goes beyond that. I think it really shows the student who's working in the nonprofit and allowing them the opportunity to see how, as they grow throughout their career, how critically important it is to give back to nonprofits. And I think you and I both share that. I think as business leaders, it's really our responsibility to figure out how we can give back to people who are in need and potentially change people's lives.
Yes, you know, really, it's like I said in the earlier segment, you know, I tried to play golf. I tried to live the leisure life of a retiree, and it was not rewarding. And I'm also involved in Social Venture Partners, which is a group of
just passionate people
who get together in what is called collective impact. And what we do is small things by a lot of people to offer their modest funding and expertise to help nonprofits. And I love that because all the people I'm involved in are not multimillionaires by any means, but instead of getting a golf club membership, they say, let's invest in this nonprofit. They're kind of, we use the word social entrepreneurs.
Social entrepreneurs.
So you could start a business or you could start a nonprofit.
You know, Tom, I have a saying that I really, really love, and that is, I would much rather have 1% of 100 man's efforts than 100% of one man's efforts. And I think what you're saying is exactly right. I think collectively as a community, if we can start thinking that way, and I do think there are a lot of people in our demographic, baby boomers, who are going the retirement route, determining that while they may not want to go back to work 100%, they still want to be able to contribute and use all those skills and expertise. And I think that's what you're doing. Right?
It is what I do.
So what advice would you have out there for folks who are interested in getting engaged in the community, perhaps getting involved in your Charitable Words Scholars? What advice do you have for people just looking for something else, how they can actually help the world as they grow older?
Well, I could put a plug in for the things I do, and I highly recommend Social Venture Partners, Social Venture Partners Cincinnati, which, as I was saying, is a group of people just like you and me, and get together and invest in small nonprofits. A great example is one of our nonprofits is Whole Again International. I love this program. This is a program that takes USDA school food money and feeds kids during the summertime when they're not in school.
Sure.
Very small nonprofit, and then they give them enrichment, literacy training, things like that. They are making a difference. Well, we are there, Social Venture Partners, to not only fund them, but to offer them our expertise. We've got lawyers and accountants and marketing people who step in and help in what, I'm using words here that are, kind of words in the nonprofit world, capacity building, to build capacity to feed more kids and teach more kids. And I love that concept, because if you just give them money, that's fine. Everybody needs money. But in order to really build their capacity, the expertise that people like you and I or my friends can offer that we learned in our careers can help nonprofits as well.
Well, Tom, again, I really appreciate what you're doing. You certainly serve as a role model to so many people. And one more time, what's your contact information if folks would like to get in touch with you?
T. Callanan at charitablewords.com, and the website is charitablewords.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.